One of the most challenging and difficult issues in the management of cities and towns is traffic. This is further compounded by parking challenges. Additionally, many apartments and townhouses are being built with a parking ratio of 1:1. This too is becoming a problem as many Jamaican homes have an average of 2 cars. A Jamaican company, ABACUS Safe Park, has found an innovative solution to the problem of parking for Jamaica, the Caribbean, and North America. For the details, we join Marlon Samuels in this special report.
Land is a fixed commodity. As the population increases, there is a corresponding increase in construction of homes, offices, and factories. More and more persons are driving cars, SUVs, and trucks, expanding the needs of parking. As land is fixed, it means a decrease in the available land to construct traditional car parks. The answer to the parking challenges, which threatens to overwhelm offices, homes, and traditional car parks, is a vertical parking system.
You put a car in at ground level and you rotate it up. And you can rotate up to 6 vehicles in one system or go all the way up to 16.
Civil engineers are problem solvers, and what we have to do is to look at land and see how the land can be used to help mankind. In this case, the problem is parking, and this mechanical and electronic and electrical product fits in. A civil engineer determines can the structure fit there? Is the soil sturdy enough? What kind of foundation do you need? And then what are the conditions? Maybe you're right by the sea and you have to think about strong sea breezes and so on, and you think about the structural integrity. So civil engineering helps to cover a lot of that. And the whole use of space, how to utilize roads for access and how it should all be finished, how it should look is important. And in fact, on the matter of look, you see a raw unit behind us where you see the insides, you see everything working. You can have fascias right around the structure that can even carry billboards, electronic billboards for advertising, or the whole fascia could be a product. Let's say you sell a certain type of soda drink. That structure could look like the bottle. So it can be used for advertising and information in a very positive way.
The standalone structure uses the vertical space, not the horizontal space. So the problem of limited parking space is eliminated. It covers the area of just 2 traditional parking spaces and saves drivers lots of time, as it takes less than 90 seconds to park or retrieve their vehicle. They also don't have to perform difficult parking maneuvers, as the parking system, which adheres to strict quality assurance standards, is safe, reliable, and easy to use. The driver simply leaves the car on the platform at the designated entrance area on the ground level. Once the driver leaves the safety zone, hydraulic or mechanical car lifters raise the vehicle from the bottom to another level, using advanced technologies to provide all-around management of the vehicle. The eco-friendly parking system, which does not use any type of noise pollution, automatically parks the car.
It's a very simple system, simple mechanics, one motor, and yes, the electronics are, as electronics would be, complicated, but very easy to deal with.
This will solve Jamaica's parking problem. Everywhere you go in Jamaica, apart from the 2 cities, Kingston and Montego Bay and Portmore, every market town, Brownstown, St. Anne's Bay, Santa Cruz, all have parking problems, right? And the simple reason is that there's nowhere to park. And people will use 2 acres of land to put a parking lot. Now this system is environmentally friendly. So you use a 1/4 acre and you get the same amount of parking. the basis of it being environmental friendly, you can run it with solar systems, the JPS power, or you can actually operate it manually.
With most electrical systems, sometimes there's power outages. In the event that you don't have a generator, it is a good thing to have a manual system. This is our manual system. It is a clutch really, has a clutch and the wheel to move the thing. It's connected by gears and clutches all the way around. In the event of a power cut, we engage the clutch, spin the wheel, and what will happen is the carousel will then spin around, bringing each car down to the floor level. Presently, we're using our backup system, which is a generator. We're not connected to the grid just as yet, but as you can see, we have made our preparations to do so. So it is always nice to have a backup with you. And it is also important to realize that this system can be operated with solar power as well.
The vertical parking system is technically advanced. It uses electricals and software to control the sensors, parking platforms, lifts, motors, and other parts that move the cars once it drives onto the multi-story steel shelving system. The parking system is controlled by what is called a human-machine interface. The human-machine interface software is used to monitor, supervise, and control the process.
Now this is what is called the human-to-machine interface, which actually controls the parking for all the different vehicles. You have what is called an emergency stop button, which for whatever reason the system needs to be stopped immediately. You simply press this button and it will come to an immediate stop. You also have a manual key switch which does the overriding of the system, and in order to start it you have to first put it in automatic mode. You also have the reset button, which is used for resetting the system if there's a fault and you need to correct that fault. Now to get to a particular parking spot, you simply press the number of the parking spot and then you press run. It will then move automatically to that spot. When you need to retrieve a vehicle, you go and you do the same again. If you want to go to section 4 where you would have known you would have parked your vehicle before, you press the 4 and then the run, and it will bring the vehicle back to the parking position that you can remove it.
The principals of ABACUS Safe Park Jamaica, former members of the Jamaica Defense Force, are world-class engineers. They have much less training and experience and give their stamp of approval on the reliability and safety of the multi-level vertical parking structure and operating system. They and their team oversee its supply, installation, and maintenance. ABACUS has the exclusive distributorship for the vertical parking system in the Caribbean, the United States of America, and Canada. It is the ideal solution to parking issues being experienced in towns, cities, office buildings, hotels, hospitals, and shopping malls.
Airport parking, hospitals, we talk about banks and so, even though banks are not that crowded nowadays, we don't know if that will come back. But, all kind of plazas, I don't even need to name them. All the plazas, where I don't even go to my supermarket much anymore that I normally go to because I can't find anywhere to park. Sometimes I have to drop my wife off and go far, park somewhere, wait for her to call me, come back. So, there are so many areas that this thing is really needed to make our lives much more comfortable. Quality of life is what we're aiming for.
The safe parking operations being promoted by ABACUS has other far-reaching benefits for Jamaicans.
The whole idea is not just a private venture, right? It is a private venture, obviously, but we see this as a national type of development project because it is a national problem, a national crisis. And myself and Colonel Sadler and others, when we were in the JDF, we formed the Engineer Regiment back in 1991, I think. And the first project that we embarked on then was a mobile farming project to make farmers who had their produce up in the bush, you know, we built roads that they were able to take their produce out to market, to the main towns. And those roads, by the way, they're still standing today, no potholes. In fact, we did it so well, maybe that was a reason why it was stopped, unfortunately. But that taught us a number of things, that we have skills in the JDF, technical skills, that we need. And a lot of these people who were then soldiers, they are now veterans on the street. Some of them are only driving taxis around and some of them have no jobs. Some of them even are destitute, unfortunately. We have a veterans association called CAMP, Caribbean Association of Military Professionals, where there are a number of these people who have lots of technical skills that we hope to employ and to mix, you know, to sort of infuse the discipline that they have gained over many years of service into the private sector and into working with other companies and, you know, workmen, you know, in engineering and otherwise. So we can sort of, you know, learn from each other and hopefully generally lift the general standards of operation and maintenance and customer service and so forth. So the parking system is a good avenue or a good tool to solve a number of issues at the same time.
For the news on PBCJ, I'm Marlon Samuels.